Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nightmare X Show. I'm your host, Nightmare X. I notice I've been gone for a while. Anyways, I apologize about my absence. I would warn you guys when that kind of stuff is about to happen, but you don't pay attention to my other social medias, so it doesn't work. I tried to get y'all interested in my Twitter. And if you did that alone, that would be good. That would be really good. Because there's links in the bio to a lot of other things. So, I'm gonna link my Twitter. Hopefully someone will check it out and then go find a bunch of other stuff. It's not hard. But my Twitter will be linked. So, today's video. My fanfiction, assuming the Ultimate Alliance games continued, will still come out. I'm still gonna do it, despite this Ultimate Alliance 3 dropping in 2 months. It looks nothing like the first two. They're probably not gonna fill in the gaps. They're probably not gonna explain why. Now it looks more like we've got the 1610 Nick Fury rather than the 616. Or it could be because of the movies. It's most likely because of the movies. But they're not gonna say why he looks like that when he didn't in the first two games. They're not gonna say anything, I bet you, about Captain Marvel. In the first two games, she was Miss Marvel. I don't know why. So, anyways, I'm gonna probably assume that game is not in with the same story as the first two games. I'm gonna play this third game at some point, but I'm probably going to go on with the fanfiction and assume this game isn't part of the story. Because it's so far from the first two games that I don't know what they're thinking. And I do have some ideas. I want to include some characters. Characters that you're gonna know and recognize. Some of them you won't, because I'm gonna use some really outdated characters as well. But hopefully I write them properly, and hopefully if they're bad characters, I can write them better. I know I want to include some unlikable characters, and I want to make them likable, because I think there is potential, the writers just didn't do anything with it. Or, they made it seem like there was less potential than there was. Characters like Porcupine and Super Pro. I know you really don't like that one, but I'm gonna try and make them likable. And what are some other ideas that I had? I was going to two other characters that I really wanted to involve, and I most likely will, and I'll probably do a lot with them, is Chameleon which is an older Spider-Man villain, and Carl, with a K, which is the biological father of the X-Man Trauma. So Trauma is an interesting character and all, because his ability is to turn into the greatest fear. Of the person he's looking at. So I don't really want to include him, mostly because he's a really recent character. But I want to include Carl, because I feel like he was completely overlooked. A lot of things on fandom say that Nightmare is Trauma's father. Nightmare was working through Carl. Nightmare was worshipped by Carl. Carl is an avid worshipper, follower of Nightmare. But Nightmare was hoping for Trauma to be his vessel or something. Anyways, I want to include Carl in my story. I want to include Chameleon in my story. And Super Pro and Porcupine. And maybe Nightmare. But that's all down the road. That's all long term. I know Chameleon would be a good way for me to go from title to title, because I could have him turn into anybody and just go over to their title. So I actually already planned a few people he could turn into. But yeah. And I had some plans, but I don't know how much I can say without spoiling, like, future books. So yeah, this fanfiction of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games is hopefully gonna be a series. I'm pretty stuck at the moment. If anyone wants to step up and help me, go to my Twitter. From my Twitter, there's a link to my Tumblr. Message me on Tumblr if you want to step up and help with my story, and just answer some simple questions like, what should happen next? So, I don't know what else to put here, but I do appreciate patience. I know the last time I was off for several days, you guys came back in like 1 or 2 days, and it wasn't like prompted. I didn't ask for anyone to come back, and I appreciate that you did. Anyways, and I don't know what the music is doing. So anyways, this story is probably going to take a while to get anything substantial. And like I said in my last story video, I don't really remember, was that 7 days before today, or the week before that? Anyways, my last story video, like this, I said that I discovered that if I save something to Wattpad, you can't see it. If I publish something to Wattpad, you can see it. I didn't know that until the other day when someone tried to read one of my stories. She was hooked on the intro, but couldn't read the first chapter. So, anyways, I do need help with my story. And there are some other stories that I need help with, some more than others. Some stories are so dauntingly just swallowed by problems, that I'm discouraged. So, that is a thing. Like my story titled Implement, where I talk about ideas and things that you can use in a D&D setting, any kind of tabletop role-playing setting. These are ideas that you can use. The book is so messed up, though, I have no idea how to fix it. I made so many problems. I was all over the place. I'm just discouraged from going back to it and trying to fix everything. So, yeah. But I've basically said my piece. Anyways, if you want more detail, I really don't think you should spoil it for yourself, but you can message me on Tumblr if you want. It's easy to find my Tumblr. Just go to my Twitter, and it's right there in my bio. So, but if you want to help with the story, then you'll know everything about the story anyways. So, if you want to help with the story, that's great. I really need it. I really need it. Just go to my Twitter. My Tumblr is right there. You can get on my Tumblr and message me. Alright, well, I will see you tomorrow. I hope I can make a video tomorrow. Tomorrow is another free day, Thursday, so it can be anything I want. And I will see you then. Peace.